in our 32 and 32 series is Za'Darius Smith. And before I tell you about Za'Darius Smith, I want to remind everybody that you can become a member of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. 2 different tiers. The first tier for $1.99 gets you the same starters tier perks that are loyalty badges and custom emojis. For $4.99, that gets you those coaches tier perks. The same thing as the starters tier, plus overtime content and some more really cool opportunities coming forward in the near future. So if you're not a member and you got a few extra bucks and want to support the show, we totally appreciate that. And next up in our 32 and 32 series is Za'Darius Smith at number 6. Bo, you've been following along. Where do you have Za'Darius Smith on your list?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, this is one of the first ones that, like, I'm way off with you guys. I got Za'Darius Smith 13.
13, wow.
I can't believe you guys have him this high. You think Za'Darius Smith is the 6th most important?
Do you want to hear the...
you think Za'Darius...
Earl, funny.
First of all, you guys haven't had the DC or the coach.
Correct.
So you think the defensive coordinator is one of the 5 most important people is mind-blowing to me.
He is.
Oh, come on now. More important, players win games, Tyvis. You know that.
You know what I'll say?
Say what you're going to say.
Last year,
Yeah.
Jim Schwartz is coming back with pretty much the same team.
No, pretty much the same team. The defensive line is completely
I
different.
got two different guys.
The whole defensive line is different pretty much,
2.
except for Myles Garrett.
And Jordan Elliott.
Hey, one, okay.
Oh, wow.
One schlepped
Oh, wow.
Did he not start? Is he not a starter?
All right.
Okay, I
They
just
were
want to
the
know.
worst defensive line in football. G thinks they might be the best this year. I'd say they're up. They've made a major upgrade in talent.
All I'm saying
Plus,
is
you upgraded from John
they
Johnson.
replaced 2 dudes. That's all I'm saying.
They didn't replace 2. They
2 starters.
No, he's not even going to start. Elliott. What are you talking about?
The Washington game, he didn't start?
Their 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th best defensive linemen were all not on the team last year. And their best safety, Juan Thornhill, was not on the team last year. Those are pretty significant differences.
Yes, I would agree.
At the end of the day.
And to be fair to Joe Woods, the whole linebacking core was hurt. Maybe this year they stay healthy.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
Mary Kay just tweeted, and I quote, "The Browns will add Michael Dunn and Mo Hurst back to the active roster after placing Jordan Kanasic and
All right, there
Alex
you
Wright
go.
on the
No
short-term
harm, no
IR."
foul.
Thank you. I knew that. But that's good. They back on the active roster? Okay, so then if that ball gets kicked off against the Cincinnati Bengals,
Listen,
they locked
I think
in.
Za'Darius Smith is important to the Browns, certainly. Maybe I got him a little low at 13, but I think 6 is crazy.
Who do you have in front of him? Out of quick curiosity.
Deshaun Watson,
Okay, that's understandable.
Myles Garrett,
Okay.
Amari Cooper,
Okay.
Joel Bitonio,
Yeah.
Nick Chubb,
The Batonio one. Go ahead, though.
Denzel Ward,
Okay.
Kevin Stefanski,
Okay.
your boy Jim Schwartz.
Okay. So why you acting like it's so absurd
that's a
if you
good
got him
list.
8th on the list?
That's a good list.
I got
If
Schwartz.
they-
No,
if they could-
I got Schwartz 10th.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
good list.
Jedrick Wills. He's a left tackle. He may
He
not
has
be
to
good,
be,
but it's an
yeah.
important position.
I don't have
What do you mean?
Kevin Stefanski,
But
obviously.
you got Batonio on there?
And then I got your boy Elijah Moore ahead of him.
Great. Good job.
There
Good
you go.
list.
And the only one I might move him ahead of is Juan Thornhill. I got him 1 spot behind Juan Thornhill.
So for
I might flip flop that and put him 12.
So Za'Darius Smith is obviously a great upgrade. Obviously, he's going to be important. We saw what he could do a little bit in the Kansas City Chiefs game. My thing is this: what can you expect to get from him in terms of production and sacks? Really, like we've seen guys get 9 sacks.
Wait a minute. Let me
We've
ask.
seen Jadeveon Clowney got 9.
Was that his best year? He had 9?
9.
Okay, well, then I don't expect nothing less.
So you expect
9 or better.
9 or better from Za'Darius Smith.
Darius Smith had 10 last year.
And he played with some good defensive line last year.
9 or better.
Tailed off at the end of the year. What do you expect him to get for a good season?
I'm expecting him to be right around that number, 9-10 sacks, right? I mean, he's not young.
What do you think? You got 6?
13.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's fine.
right.
9 or better for me. He
Okay.
can't have nothing less than 9.
Now 13. The reason I say
I mean, he is 31 years
That's
old.
not the point. Listen, he's a productive guy, and if Myles Garrett is still demanding a triple team, it ain't no excuse.
he's
like
No.
there's no excuse.
I think.
And he can't even. I don't even think you can triple team Myles.
I
now.
think expecting him to get 13 sacks is a lot. I mean,
I'm
that
not-
far off from 10. but-
That's that. He was hurt last year.
he was hurt. He
No, he only missed 1 game.
Za'Darius.
He
But
was
16 games last year.
He had a little nagging injury at the
He
end of
didn't
the
play
year.
as well second half of the
Okay,
year.
then
But
I think he had most of his sacks in the first 8-9 weeks.
The reason I say 13 is I just don't. They don't have. I keep saying it. They don't have any responsibilities, man.
And that still bothers me.
It's so crazy to me. Like they just they got some responsibility.
It better be contained. That's what I know.
Hey, one of them only.
You think he's more important to the Browns than Nick Chubb?
No.
Well, these guys put him ahead of Nick Chubb on their list.
No,
We did. I actually stand by that still.
What was Nick Chubb on your list?
8, yeah, 2 days ago. 8.
Who was
Did all three of you have Za'Darius ahead of Nick Chubb?
I'm looking at it right now. I did. Anthony did.
What's the argument for that?
Earl did. I still think the Browns' offensive line is very good, and Nick Chubb's the best running back in football. I believe in Jerome Ford. If he was healthy, 16 games, I think Jerome Ford runs for 1,000+ yards. The difference between Chubb and Jerome Ford is a monumental gap based on just talent. But in this offense.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Bigger gap. Nick Chubb and Ford, Za'Darius Smith and Ogbo.
Bigger gap between Chubb and Ford, but the positional value of defensive end is significantly more important than a running back.
Earl can't use that as an argument.
I'm telling you my answer.
Because Earl blew off Jedrick Wills because he's not that good, and it's arguably the third most important position in football, maybe second.
I had Za'Darius. I'll let you have him in 1 second.
Go ahead.
I had Za'Darius 8th. Anthony had him 4th. And Earl had him 6th. Yeah, so we had him right in average, 8, 6, 4.
Well, at least we know
had him 4th.
At least we know who the number one is, who consensus number one is on everybody.
I think Nick Chubb. What people don't get, Nick Chubb will be the difference whether the Browns win the Super Bowl or not. If Deshaun Watson comes back and plays, and you look, no one wants to look at it like this. If you go. Like if you look at a triumvirate of guys, so you want to look at a pass catcher, a running back, and a quarterback, right? So if you got the quarterback, and you say Deshaun is back to a top 5 type guy, then you look to receiver. You could argue that Amari Cooper is a top 10-ish, 11-ish top receiver. And then
I don't agree with that, but all right.
But according to the Madden,
I don't give a shit about the Madden.
Amari Cooper is between 15 and 20. He's
the only reason Amari Cooper is not top 10 is because he don't have that burst anymore.
Right.
That's if his yak was still good.
Right, but that's all part of it.
I mean, yes.
He's a very good receiver. Let me tell you something. Can you put the camera on me here for a second? I'm actually going to look at the camera, which I never do. You talk to my man Nick Chubb, my favorite player on the Cleveland Browns.
Nicholas Jamal Chubb.
Nicholas Jamal. Let me tell you something, man. You got the backing of the 3 panelists here. We love you, and we show you the proper respect. But our behind-the-scenes team of Mike, Anthony, and Earl, they have insulted you. They have said that you, arguably the greatest back in the history of Cleveland Browns football, and yes, I said the greatest back in the history of Cleveland Browns football, when it's all said and done.
That's a little...
Certainly the greatest since Jim Brown.
All right, there we go.
They have said that a 31-year-old good, not great pass rusher is more important to the team than you.
I stand by.
How insulting is that?
That's because they don't.
I'm gonna let Earl chime in.
You know how many times has Za'Darius Smith been All-Pro?
Couple things on this. First and
Can you
foremost,
just answer my question?
Couple things on
believe
this.
the answer
Answer
is
my
0.
question
Couple
first.
things on this. First
No,
things
you guys got
first.
to answer my question, and then you say whatever you want.
First.
No,
Nick,
answer
I have
my
nothing
question.
but Nick Chubb for
Come
nothing but love for
on, Earl,
Nick
you got to
Chubb.
answer my question first.
First things first, I have nothing but love for Nick Chubb. Nick
No,
Chubb.
wait,
I haven't
answer the
answered.
question. I asked you a question.
What's the question?
He made All-Pro once.
He's never been All-Pro. What are you
Yeah,
talking
I'm looking at it right here. He was second pro All-Team in 2020. Get
Second
your facts
team
right.
doesn't
That's
count.
still-
Get your facts right, boys. Yeah, you say he never made All-Pro? Yes, he damn did. He damn well made All-Pro.
If I was second team All-Pro, you respect me and call
When
me
was he second team
All-Pro
All-Pro?
player Tyvis Powell.
Hey, you know what's funny? Guess who has the exact same amount of All-Pro selections as Nick Chubb?
Go ahead.
His name's Za'Darius Smith. Guess who's never made a first-team All-Pro team?
Talk to him.
Nick Chubb or Za'Darius Smith. So,
Get him.
get your damn facts
Get
right,
him.
boy.
Hey, boy, you didn't understand the assignment.
I like that.
The
I
assignment
like
was
that.
not. The assignment was not ranked the 32 most important positions on the Browns. It was named.
Yes,
it
it
was
was.
ranked the 32 most important players on the Browns.
You just said the same thing.
Same
Earl.
thing?
No, he said
let me
position
rephrase
and
what Earl was
player.
trying to
No,
say.
I said positions. He's saying because left tackle is an important position. That was not our assignment.
No,
Yes, it was.
I know what you were trying to say. You just said the same thing twice.
Yes.
You just said the assignment
didn't.
wasn't to rank the 32 most important
What
positions. It
was
to
the
rank
exact
32 most
question,
positions.
Mike? Say it again.
It was the 32 most important people in the Browns organization for the upcoming
Okay.
season. And I stand by the
There's
fact,
no
just
way
like my
Za'Darius
colleagues
Smith
back
is more
here,
important than Nick
that's
Chubb.
Za'Darius
No
Smith.
way.
You're right.
Having two elite pass rushers.
Y'all all are wrong. It should have been Andrew Berry. Most important guy.
What? Tyvis,
More
what are you
important, most
smoking?
important person.
Now that the season has started,
Yeah, because it was his job to get everybody in.
we're talking about for the season. Like once we're in the season.
I mean, he got to make.
Well, let Earl
he got to make cuts.
Let Earl get his point. I didn't let him get his point because I wanted him to answer.
No,
the question.
I mean my whole point
Go
was
ahead.
nothing but love for Nick Chubb. Actually, fun story. My cousin that's getting married, the wedding I'm officiating, Nick Chubb actually stays across the street from the fiance's mother and gave my baby cousin an autographed picture for his first birthday. So it's nothing but love for Nick Chubb.
Are you going to
But,
officiate the wedding in a Nick Chubb jersey?
Uh,
I'll let you borrow mine.
Don't you
Let's
do
do
that?
it.
Can't do that. What
Let's
are you
do it. But
talking
no,
about?
Za'Darius Smith is very important.
Don't you do it.
I mean, the Browns suffered on the defensive line. They didn't have no pass rush. And you put somebody like that opposite of Myles Garrett, it only makes Myles Garrett's job easier. And I think he'll have a great season. He's more important to the Browns than Nick Chubb, especially since we sit here talking about Deshaun Watson having the keys to the offense.
Ooh.
Darius Smith, and let me add on
See
to that.
I don't know about that.
Argument
Valid
there.
point.
There was no legit argument there.
Listen, Earl is absolutely saying the right thing.
No, Earl is wrong.
No,
Earl's
Earl's not
that's
wrong.
wrong.
He might
Listen,
be a
the
little.
most impossible thing to stop in the NFL is a dominant pass rush. And we've seen Myles Garrett has been phenomenal. On a
Darius
Hall of
Smith is not
Fame
a
pace.
dominant pass rusher. Myles Garrett's a dominant pass rusher. Darius Smith's a good pass rusher. He's not an elite player.
But he's a guy that you can't ignore like you could the last couple
Bro,
seasons
listen,
with
listen.
the pass rushers opposite of Myles Garrett.
Listen, let's just bring this down. Let's just be real about this. Listen, Nick Chubb when you say you the best at your position, let's
That's
just
right.
get the position out the way. Like when Nick Chubb is an offensive force. He averages 5.3 a carry.
That's
right?
ridiculous.
You can't tackle him, right?
That's
The
ridiculous.
first guy is missing. The second guy might get ran over. Nick Chubb can catch the football. Nick Chubb is hard to tackle, period, point blank. And if you got Deshaun Watson, who's a top 5 quarterback, who's throwing the ball, putting the ball on the money, when the game is in the balance, the Browns are the only team that can say we have a top 5 quarterback and a top 5 running back that can get the job done. If you say, who do you want, Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey or Deshaun Watson and Nick Chubb? Give me Nick Chubb. The Eagles don't got a running game like that. The Browns are the only team that's lined up that can say, listen, the reason y'all can't beat Patrick Mahomes is you keep giving them the ball back. We gonna put points on the board and then keep the ball. And that's how we gonna win the Super Bowl.
Browns win like 4 games without Nick Chubb last year, in my opinion.
Last year.
Which is crazy and exceptional.
Last year.
There's so few running backs that make an impact, and Nick Chubb's one of the few guys that do.
I got a question for G. You're absolutely right about everything you just said about Nick Chubb. But how has that benefited to the Browns' overall success?
Well, that you can say it hasn't benefited at all.
But would you agree? Would you agree if you would have had a guy like Za'Darius Smith playing opposite of Myles Garrett if you would have had this defensive line, it would have garnished more success
You can't
even
say
with Nick
this
Chubb doing
defensive
so.
line.
And wait a minute, in
just one guy.
2020 when they went to the playoffs, was it because of Baker or was it because of Nick Chubb more so?
It was Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb.
Okay.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
Now, Baker deserves his credit.
Now listen,
yeah, I was just asking a question.
To me, I play defensive end, and to be truthful, defensive ends don't make enough of an impact on every single play. When you got a guy that can take the ball and score, like that's why there's only been one person that won the MVP as a defensive player. It's almost impossible. Like we've seen people get 20 sacks, right? 20 sacks. 22, what is the record? 23? 20, what is it?
22 and a half.
23 and a half sacks. You got
22.
23 and a half sacks, and they were not in the voting. Because
Michael Strahan wasn't in the vote that year.
you're
No.
never realistically in the voting.
And guys, just think of it this way. If Za'Darius Smith gets hurt, I got Ogbo.
And we still rolling.
He's a pretty decent player.
You did say that.
It's not important at all.
You really said Ogbo wasn't important. You was sitting here ripping us apart for even having him on the list. You was talking about a whole bunch of other guys that's
He
more
gotta
important
go
than
back
Ogbo.
and look.
Now all of a
Let me
sudden
see
you
where I
got
have him on the list.
Hey, we're all on the list. Let me check
wanna see if that's proof.
Let me check the list of integrity.
That's a lie. I got Ogbo 24th on my list. You're a liar. That's
The
a lie.
Browns have re-signed Kellen Mond to their practice
Oh,
squad.
who gives a shit? We're in the middle of an argument. Who cares about
We in the
Kellen
middle
Mond?
of an
If
argument?
Kellen Mond plays, the season's over. Earl, would you rather have Za'Darius hurt this year or Nick Chubb? If one of those guys got hurt for the year, which would concern you more?
You out of here. You know that.
Which one would concern me more? If Nick Chubb went down, that obviously would concern me more. We don't
So
have
then
no
how
depth
do you
behind
have
Nick Chubb.
that's the end of the debate.
Wait, what did he
He
say?
just admitted that Nick Chubb would be a bigger loss.
You're huge.
Oh,
how-
well, yeah, that's the end of the
So that's
debate.
the end of the debate.
That's the end
How
of
could you
it.
put Za'Darius? How is
You
he
going
more?
backwards. You sit up here. I'm talking about Ogbo. I done moved on. You literally said Ogbo was not that important. You tried to rip me and G-Head off and give him his kudos.
Because I put
But
him
now all of a
24th.
sudden, if
24th, he's not
Za'Darius
that
Smith got
important.
hurt, you got Ogbo.
I don't even know what to tell you.
Are y'all on strike on the water?
No.
You
Water
want to
taken.
strike on us.
I mean, I
Water's taken.
Get Tyvis some water.
no.
Get Tyvis some water.
I had it
Earl,
last week.
The argument is over. I love you.
That's
I
a
know
new-
you're mad right now,
That's
but
a
you
whole
lost
new
the
pack
argument
back there, though.
because you just admitted that Nick Chubb would be a bigger loss.
Okay.
He would be.
So then how do you put
But that wasn't the question, rank the players based on who would be the bigger loss. That was not the assignment.
Okay.
the question is who's more important?
What difference does it make?
If Nick Chubb is getting hurt is a bigger loss, then he's more important. No?
What difference does it make? Everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
That's true.
Tyvis, that's the motto we had on this show. We did the most boring show in the history of
Yeah,
YouTube.
really.
Yeah, Tyvis, come on, man. You could have came back
opinion.
stronger than that, bro.
Things would be pretty freaking boring around here if we were agreeing on everything and saying, well, that's a great opinion. Oh, I don't want to argue with you. You can't handle the argument. Get the hell out of the kitchen. Earl can handle himself. He's going back at me. I give him his kudos. He's mad now because I beat
But
him
it
in
was
the argument.
it's not just Earl. It was a consensus. Don't y'all?
But
How do
those
y'all?
two knuckleheads haven't just being smart and shutting up.
Wait a minute. How is it? How
No,
do
Earl, I
y'all
wasn't calling you a
factor?
knucklehead. I said
He was
Anthony
calling
and
me
Mike
and
are
Anthony a
knuckleheads.
knucklehead because we use facts.
So if y'all got
What
three
facts
votes,
They're
did you
both
have?
one-time All-Pros.
well,
Neither's ever made first-team All-Pro, which is, by the way,
Which
a
is-
damn disgrace to Nick
it's a
Chubb because he
disgrace.
deserves to be an all-team first pro. at
Nick
some
Chubb
point.
on a Hall of Fame track, yes or no?
Fact.
Is the Za'Darius
Wait a
Smith on a Hall of
minute.
Fame track?
If he takes Tom Brady's play forever juice, yes.
So was Nick Chubb Nick Chubb was you said Nick Chubb only was all pro one time
That's
period?
insane.
Yeah, All-Pro second team last year was the first time he made
That's
All-Pro.
insane.
According to Pro
How is
Football
that
Reference.
possible?
Wow.
Now, listen, I'll
But
read
that
you-
was a good job out of you guys. I don't know if it was Mike or Earl that got that. You got me on that one. I give you
I
that.
did get you on that one. So Nick Chubb, by the way, according to Pro Football Reference, I'm just going
Yeah.
off. His rookie season, no awards. He only played in 16 games, 9 starts. Still almost had 1,000 yards. He's been a Pro Bowler in each of the 4 seasons since, but his only All-Pro appearance was in 2022 when he was second-team All-Pro behind Josh Jacobs last year.
Remember, at running back, they only take one guy.
One guy, exactly. So there's only 2 All-Pro running backs all year.
Whereas, on the defensive positions, there's
2
more than
each.
one.
So there's 4 total that make it.
Yes.
That is a valid point.
Otherwise, if there was 4 running backs that got picked, he would have been picked every year.
Yeah. I'm going to look
he
up.
should have been picked
Who do you
anyway.
think were the I'm going to look this up real quick. All-Pro teams in 2019.
Derrick Henry.
So the running backs were McCaffrey and Henry.
That's right. All Pro is not an AFC and an NFC.
No, it's 1 and 2.
Yeah.
In 2020,
Derrick Henry.
it was Derrick Henry and Dalvin Cook. In 2021, Jonathan Taylor and Joe Mixon.
Wow.
Yeah, Mixon had a good big year.
Yeah, like
Last year
1,300
was
yards.
Chubb and Josh Jacobs, excuse me.